What if I told you that the multi-billion-dollar anti-anxiety medication industry is essentially a scam? What if I told you that the huge, multinational big pharma companies want nothing more than for you to never address the root cause of your anxiety and remain a lifetime customer of their superficial medicated solution? And what if I told you that these anti-anxiety medications may mask your symptoms, but they also scramble the natural architecture of your brain, leave you numbed out, and can never truly address the root cause of your problems? In this video, I'm going to reveal why in 2024, medication is not the answer to your anxiety struggles. And if you choose to go down this route like I did, you may well end up worse off than you were before, with an unhealthy life full of side effects, where you lose who you really are and spend thousands of dollars on doctor's appointments and prescriptions without ever getting to the root cause of your problems or unearthing the goldmine of your real potential. And by the way, if you're a professional, entrepreneur, or small business owner who's currently struggling with anxiety, we're offering a 12-week cognitive reprogramming course, which is allowing entrepreneurs, professionals, and business owners like yourself to overcome their anxiety at the root cause in as little as 8 weeks. So if that's something you're interested in, please go ahead and click the link you see in the description below this video, and you can jump on a 15-minute free, no obligation roadmap call, and we'll see if this method is a good fit for you. So let's dive into the video. Now, in 2024, if you're struggling with anxiety and you go to see your doctor, he's most likely going to be very willing to just quickly write out a prescription for anti-anxiety medication. And if he's anything like the doctors I saw in the past, he'll probably do this without ever asking you anything about your background, your family history, or any details about you. They're very willing just to immediately just write out a script and get you on anti-anxiety medication. This current approach to dealing with anxiety and stress seems completely bonkers to me. You've basically got a doctor's office full of patients, a very stressed doctor. He just needs to get through as many patients as he can, as quickly as he can. You come through the door, you talk about your anxiety. He can't really relate to your struggles because he's never been through it. The easiest option for him is obviously, boom, get you on medication, get you out the door as quickly as possible, because he's got people who are recovering from cancer and other serious illnesses that he feels should be given more time and attention. So he just needs you in and out of the door as quickly as possible. I'm not sure what it's like in your country, but in the UK, this is no criticism of GPs. They're very stressed, very overworked themselves, and this is basically how things work. The problem with this system is it does nothing to solve your problems in the long term. It's all just about doctors fulfilling their quotas and getting patients out the door as quickly as possible. So here are my 4 main reasons why medication does not work for treating anxiety. Number 1 is that medication does nothing to treat the underlying causes of anxiety. Medications like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, are designed to target neurotransmitter imbalances in the brain. They may mask your symptoms, but they do nothing to treat the underlying causes. The real problem, the real cause of your anxiety, is what I call mind viruses. It's this faulty programming that you have running in your subconscious mind. It's your thought patterns, your way of interpreting reality, your way of dealing with problems, of explaining reality, and how you interact with the people and the world around you. These glitches and faults in your operating system need addressing. You cannot just mask this problem with anxiety medication. It does nothing to target these cognitive programs that you're running in your mind, which is causing all of your problems. Your whole experience of reality comes from the mind. You need to address the issues deep in your mind, not just apply some surface level band-aid, which is going to warp your experience of reality. And all the time that you're masking your problems with anti-anxiety medication, these faulty cognitive programs are allowed to continue running, they get worse, and they continue to go completely unaddressed. As I've said in previous videos, it's as if you've got a brain tumor and you continue to take stronger and stronger medication just to cope with the pain, but you never get a CT scan to actually realize what is going on and what is causing the pain at its root. Number 2, the side effects of anti-anxiety medication are sometimes more potent than the benefits. This was certainly the case in my own experience. When I started taking the anti-anxiety medication called Zoloft, or also known as sertraline, I suffered a host of very unpleasant and quite serious side effects. These range from everything from night sweats, excessive sweating, erectile dysfunction, increased anxiety. I had muscle tension. I had something called brain zaps, where you get a feeling of an electrical current going up the back of your neck into your brain. And all of this was very uncomfortable, and there was no actual tangible upside. I was just suffering a host of side effects and not getting any benefit. And as I say, from taking Zoloft, I actually felt worse than when I was just getting through the anxiety on my own. And they started to scramble my brain architecture to the point that I started to do things completely out of character. I even started smoking again. And I've heard of people complaining that they turned into a Zoloft zombie, where they couldn't really feel anything. Although they didn't feel anxiety, they also didn't feel any of the pleasure that they normally got in life outside of their anxiety. And it's a little bit like a very broad spectrum antibiotic. It may well wipe out the harmful harmful bacteria, but it also wipes out all the good bacteria. These drugs are not targeted. And this leads me on to my third point, which is that anti-anxiety medication is actually too broad. These antidepressants from which SSRIs and so on have been derived, they're the second generation of these kind of antidepressant drugs. They're used to treat all kinds of things, not just anxiety. They're used to treat general anxiety disorder, depression, obsessive compulsive, bulimia, panic disorder, severe phobias like agoraphobia, and post-traumatic stress disorder. So these have not been designed specifically to just target your anxiety. They're used for a wide range of applications. And antidepressants originally came about as a byproduct from experiments after World War II, where chemists were using stockpiles of leftover rocket fuel to try and find a cure for tuberculosis. And they didn't find a cure for tuberculosis, but what they found was that these chemical compounds actually improved the mood of the people taking them. So they then began applying them as antidepressants. So they actually came about completely by accident. They're used very broadly, and they are not targeted specifically to your anxiety, which is why you will find that you often don't get the greatest benefits, and you do also get a lot of side effects. Fourth and finally is that taking medication actually disempowers you. When you start taking anti-anxiety medication, you're entering into an implicit contract that says, I'm sick, I have anxiety, I am a sufferer, I need a cure. But this is not actually true. Anxiety doesn't work like that, as I've said in other videos. Anxiety is fear, and it's experienced in response to a stressor or a stimuli. And what you need to do is reprogram and recondition your fear response and how you experience anxiety. You don't just want to squash this or mask it with a chemical compound. Your mind is plastic, and we now know about the concept of neuroplasticity, which means that your mind can be rewired and reprogrammed around its reaction to stress and stressful stimuli. So the key lies in restructuring your brain and reprogramming your cognitive patterns rather than just trying to apply this band-aid solution. You've got to get right to the root cause and rewire how your brain actually processes this fear. So in my experience, medication is most definitely not the answer to anxiety. You need to get to the root cause and address it there. And this is something that I did after struggling for decades with conventional methods like endless therapy, which had no goals or structure or clear endpoint. I was just talking about childhood trauma, reliving the past, dredging it up, and basically living in the past and not moving forward. I also took medication. As I said, that didn't help at all. I had to come up with my own method, which I've now bundled together and which I call the cognitive reprogramming method. And this is also draws on my experience of 3.5 years training with the mind in a Zen monastery in Japan. And if you would like to learn more about this and see if you can apply the cognitive reprogramming method to your own life, please click the link in the description below this video and we can jump on a call and discuss if it's a good fit for you.